Welcome, 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 one and all, to yet another episode of Wick TV. Yeah, it's been a week, gang. It's been a week. It's Monday, and we already got so much to talk about, so much to go over. Kinetic Pause on Twitch. Thank you for the 18-month streak Prime sub. Look at you go. 18 months. That's 2 pregnancies. Okay, we have 2 children together. Stream children. Me and you, Kinetic Pause. It's great. We have. Well, first of all, I guess I'll say this. Today is a call-in show. And that's going to be great because you, dear audience, are free to call in and ask me or my lovely co-host, which I'll have introduce herself in 1 moment here. Anything you like. If you have questions about the state of the world, if you have issues you want to bring up that you want our takes on, or if you just have problems with something we've done or said in the past or might in the future, by all means. I put the link in the YouTube chat, and if you're in the Twitch chat, hit !Discord. You'll see the Discord link. You click that link, you accept the rules, you click on my face emoji, right? It'll be my lovely face. And then you'll jump backstage, and we'll pull you in. But before we do that, Peach, how you doing?
Hi, I'm so good. How are you?
It's been a roller coaster. We're here. We're ready. We're going.
I'm so excited.
Why don't you remind my audience who might not remember who you are, and what you do, and why we should listen to you? Go ahead.
Okay, so I stream Peach_streams on Twitch and Kick, and I haven't streamed in like 6 months, basically, because I had a really weird living situation going on, but I finally got my new place, so I have like a chair, so that's why I'm here. But I sang karaoke with Wick on Christmas.
True.
We've done a few political panels together, and I know we did a call-in show before. But I like to play Guitar Hero and talk about politics or clean, dance, karaoke. It's a variety, it's a fun time. We like to have fun, and I'm here to have fun with my good friend Wick, and I am so excited because it's been so long, because when I moved in, he was the first person that I messaged where I was like, hey, I've been gone for forever. I hope we're still cool. We haven't really talked, in a really long time, but like, I miss you. And so I'm just really excited to be here. More than anything, I'm so excited. I've been dreaming about it for months, basically.
You don't have to lay it on too thick, but thank you.
No, but for real. Okay, I won't though.
Yeah, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. We could use some good vibes on this channel. I figured, what better positive vibes than to have Baby Peach on my stream and just answering people's questions and talking about it. So I guess while we wait for callers, have you been paying attention, I guess, to the state of streaming in the space at all? What's your read on everything? I'm just curious where you're at and how much I have to catch you up. Okay.
My read. Okay, so as far as where to catch up, I believe the last thing that I saw where I felt like I was really plugged in and on top of my game as far as understanding what was going on was I watched Connor's video that he did going over I can't remember what he named it, but where the husband called in at the end. That was really the last thing that I was paying attention to. And I did not know what I was getting myself into. I was like, this is a crazy roller coaster ride. But that's, I think, where I left off.
I mean, that's pretty much where most of us left off. I don't know.
Oh, good.
So, I think that most of us.
Oh.
I think that so after I had my stream on Wednesday, where we did a show on whether or not liberals should support Hasan Piker when it came to his subpoena that he was getting or might get from the Trump administration. Yeah, I decided to take a long weekend because I had all this stuff going on, been giving me a headache. And I did see Connor's stream, right? I did watch it, and I kind of watched what happened, and It was a lot. I'll just say this, and people, if you want to know more details on my thoughts and stuff, you can just call in and ask. But I'll say this: I'm deeply disappointed in how Connor has conducted himself and handled the situation. There are lines in this space, and bringing in, well, I'll say it this way: watching the people in his chat that he was talking about, their personal lives, who he was basically using to make his points, sitting in his chat, begging him to stop, begging him to say, please don't characterize it like that. Please don't bring us up. Please don't bring us into all this. And then having to watch him do it anyway, and then have such incomplete information from such unreliable actors, I was disappointed. I know he's going through it, but that you don't get to make other people your punching bag just because you have some personal issues you're going through. That was very inappropriate. It was uncalled for. And the evidence he presented, frankly, was some of the weakest shit I've ever seen. I would not trust any of the actors who were giving information because they kept changing their stories. It was wild. It was wild to see. So I don't know. That's my thoughts. If you guys want to know more details or whatever, you can just call in and ask. But that's what I think. Okay. Yes, Ali K. Tails. They were begging him to stop. They were literally begging him to stop. They were DMing me to try to get him to stop. Okay? I don't know what else to tell you, right? They did not want to be a part of all this. They didn't want to be a weapon, right? They didn't want to be content. And I get why. It's crazy shit. I don't know. I don't know. This space, I don't like it anymore, Peaches. I'm going to be real. I don't like this space anymore. A lot of bad actors, a lot of bad people. It's not fun. Not fun. But I'm glad to have you here. You can make it fun, okay? Tell us something fun you've been doing in the last 6 months. Something interesting and fun that's happened to you. Go ahead.
Interesting and fun happening in the last 6 months would be, holy Moses. It's the most, I literally I haven't done anything fun. I'm not even joking. But I'm trying to think of something.
Fun?
No,
not
actually,
thing?
none. No, none. It was a crazy time. I had a weird living situation. Okay. So I was, actually, I will say, I had a lot of fun learning about finding private landlords on Zillow. That was actually a crazy ride. I got gaslit. I got it was just, there was an apartment that was mine, and then it got taken away from me the last second because you just didn't feel like it anymore. There was a lot going on. So if anyone needs help finding a place and you're having a rough time, I feel like I know everything about the housing market where I live, basically.
Cool.
Rental properties around here. It's really boring. You have no idea. When I say that I've been waiting for this moment, and you were all like, "Oh, you're laying it on thick." No. Okay. Let me just say, it's been so boring. But
hopefully we won't make it too boring tonight. We got some stuff to talk about. So drama aside, okay, we'll get back to a little bit in a minute because there's been some other, I guess, developments I think that are worth mentioning. But we'll get to those. But first I want to talk about how much do you know, because this happened yesterday, or at least I found out about it yesterday. So did you know that Hasan and Cenk Uygur got banned from the UK?
I did not, actually. That's news to me. They got... Why?
So...
Because that feels random to me. I don't know that they spent any time there at all. Do they?
Well,
both of them got banned?
I know that Hasan was scheduled to go do I'm not sure if it was a debate or a presentation. I'm unclear on the details. But Hasan was scheduled to go to the UK, to Oxford, and to have some sort of event. And he was not allowed to go because they revoked his, it's called an ETA. Basically, it's a visa waiver. So you don't need a visa to go anywhere. You could just kind of go in and they'll just accept you. Well, they revoked that. and he wasn't able to go on his trip. Uh, we're gonna have a whole show about it Friday. Don't worry, gang. But I'm just curious. What are your thoughts on that? He claims it was because he was critical of. Oh, excuse me. He was critical of Israel. Okay. Whether that's true or not, that's his claim. So what do we think? What do we think of the UK basically banning him from coming into their country?
Uh, I say that's pretty intense. I would want to know why. I think being critical of Israel wouldn't be the answer, regardless. So I think that that's a bunch of baloney. But I don't know. It could be anything, basically. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's just such a nothing statement. That's obviously like there's no truth value in that. That I tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong. But like that doesn't really sound like really much anything. I feel like everything he
Mm,
a lot of problems. Uh, he faces a lot of issues because of his criticisms, apparently. So,
sure.
because that's really all I ever hear him talk about. But
So
he blames it on everything, I guess. But
two things from me. And remember, gang, this is a call-in show. You're gonna let us just yap all by ourselves. You guys can call in and give your takes. You give your thoughts. So I have two thoughts on this, and one is more important than the other. So I'll give the first most important take. I think it was wrong for the UK to block him from traveling there. Right? I think that regardless of your thoughts on Hasan, and I have many, I think that stifling people's freedom of speech by revoking their visas and keeping them from being able to go to an event that they had scheduled was inappropriate. It was counter to free speech. It was a form of censorship, and they should not have done it. They should remove that obstacle and stop blocking him and Cenk Uygur. And to be clear, the other people that they have blocked in April, right? They blocked a bunch of right wingers from coming over. They should not have done that either.
I
Okay.
didn't remember that, or I didn't
Well,
know that
you
actually.
didn't hear about that because all the people raising hell right now didn't really say anything about that. So that moves on to my second point. Okay. All these moral frogs clutching their pearls right now about them banning Hasan, who didn't say shit when they banned the pro-Israel people and the anti-Islam people from coming in. I think it was like Valerie Gomez. There's a few others. Victoria Gomez. I don't know her name. And a few other people from going into the UK. And they celebrated that, or they didn't say shit about that. Yeah, get fucked. You're just a team sports player. You don't give a shit about this issue. You just give a shit that your streamer daddy didn't get to go to UK. Okay, so look again. If you were critical of both, welcome, brother or sister. Right? Team free speech. Let's go. But yeah, I don't trust a lot of the people who've been given criticisms. They're just team sports guys. And I also want to say that Hasan's obviously lying about why he got banned. Again, shouldn't have got banned. I want to make that clear. That's uh, most important point number one. But to say it was because he was critical of Israel, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because they banned people who were pro Israel, right? The UK government was one of the first governments to, I don't know if it was one of the first, but it's one of the governments that stopped sending any aid to Israel, right? Any weapons, anything like that. They stopped that. They're obviously not like super pro Israel over there. They're just not. So it
I have a question.
go ahead, ask.
So I forgot. So because if Chenko was also banned, like, is it a free speech? Like, is it about their criticisms each
It's
individually
not it's
of
not about
Israel?
it's not their
Like, what is it?
it's
You
not about
know?
their criticisms of Israel. So what I would imagine it is because they were supportive of Hamas and other terrorist organizations, right? Again, though, I want to make it clear, while that is reprehensible, I think people should be allowed to have those stances and go in and speak about those stances. I don't think that banning them is the way. And I know a lot of people are going to give me shit for that take, but that's just the take, okay? That's just my take, and you can disagree if you like, but you're just wrong and I am correct. But yeah, that's my stance.
Could you argue? that well, I guess I don't know because I really don't watch Hasan. But I feel like if it was because if we're talking about free speech, like the could anything be seen as like oh my god, I literally had the phrase in my head. Like pro terrorism or like a call
Oh
to
yeah,
terrorist
probably.
acts? Because I
I
feel
don't know
like
about Jen
I would
Cougar
kind of
specifically.
understand at that point.
Sure, I don't know about Jen Cougar
That's what's bothering
specifically,
me. Yeah.
but Hassan, absolutely. He's had that Houthi guy on, right? The Houthi pirate that he interviewed, and was like, "Oh
Yeah.
wow, One Piece." So yeah, and his favorite flag is a Hezbollah flag. Is crazy, crazy shit. We got a caller. Let's bring in the caller,
Ooh.
and we'll see what they have to say. Hello.
Oh, cool. Yeah, can you hear me?
Hi.
It's my first time on your show.
Let me turn you
Yes.
up. Can you turn yourself up a little bit?
One moment, you're going through the wrong headphones. Just give me a moment to sort this out. That's why. Cool. I should be able to hear you now. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm from the UK, as you can probably tell. And a big fan of your channel. There's been some fantastic debates on here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm a very similar mindset to you, although yeah, it's kind of complicated. It goes back. I mean, I think Lauren Southern, she was banned like 8 years ago.
Yep, that was that. They
Um,
shouldn't have done that either. But go ahead.
yeah, exactly. So it's not like some people might get it confused with the current Labour government, and it's really not a Labour or a.
Just real quick, No one can hear you. I have you up as high as I can get you on my end.
Okay, okay.
Can you take your mic and can you turn it up?
It should be louder now. Is that fine?
It is. It is. It
Oh,
is
brilliant,
louder.
brilliant. Sorry,
Okay.
it was too loud before. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, so I mean, it's not just about Labour or Tory governments, right? We had Tory government for 14 years up until 2024. Now we've got a Labour government that gets blamed for everything under the sun. I don't think it's brilliant. There's faults with the government, but in practice, they've done a lot of good things too. But when it comes to freedom of speech in the UK, it's also there's been a lot of people who have police coming to their door for things they're posting on X. So it's not just about influencers. And I think I write for the Pragmatic Papers, right? This is a newsletter with the DGG.
Oh
And
yeah,
I did
I'm familiar with it. Cool.
oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I know that means a lot to us. Cool. I wrote an article last year called "Quiet Non-Cooperation." It was about because the whole tit for tat debate going on, and I was trying to marry the basically a tit for tat strategy, but with the research on popularism and how you do that in terms of the rhetoric. And it was very interesting because the strategy is tit for tat is pretty effective, and there are variants of it, but generally you want a tit for tat type strategy. But the rhetoric you use should be pretty non-aggressive. These popularists, because let's be honest, Hasan is a popularist. He creates this boogeyman, and he wants to try and make it out like everything. He's fighting the big boogeyman, and often it's the Democrats, and he destroys the left in the US. And so he represents a left-wing popularist. So to deal with that, you must not make him into a victim. It's the worst thing you can do. And look how he's being portrayed in the media right now. He's a victim.
Yes, absolutely. One of the problems with things like this is if you think that them banning him from going to a country is going to silence his voice or hurt his career, not in any meaningful way, not in the age of social media, right? And he's going to be able to use that and weaponize his censorship in order to reach more voices, unfortunately. Remember when Trump got banned from Twitter and then we never heard from him again? No, right? Like,
Yeah.
it in a very real sense does not it's not effective, not in any real
Well, I
way,
mean,
not
okay,
anymore at least.
it's a high stakes bet, right? You want it to be so effective, you do never hear from them again. They need to be so censored, they're basically not on the planet anymore. I don't mean that in a threatening way.
Well, honestly, you'd have to, yeah, the links you'd have to go to, I don't think even the worst Hasan haters would be comfortable with. I could be wrong. So.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is it's definitely not. It's impartial. I mean, look, there's the extremist from the Israeli government.
Mm-hmm.
He's not allowed to come to UK either, right? So, I mean, I do think it's because of his extremist rhetoric. I mean, the guy did interview a Houthi rebel before, but I watched that. I was actually watching Hassan's stream at the time, and he did say, "Oh, he's possibly a Houthi pirate." He was so excited, like it was Christmas, a little child at Christmas time about him coming on, and they completely glazed this guy. So it's basically Houthi propaganda what he did. I think maybe
Yes.
afterwards he realized just how bad what he did was, but nevertheless, he was basically supporting the Houthis by doing this. No, no, pushing back at this guy. And yeah, I mean, he's done this again and again and again. I don't know if it's, I think it's a combination of a bit maliciousness on part of Hassan, but I also think it's a mix with some naivety, frankly. I mean, that does reflect on his politics being fairly naive. So I mean, I'm
I don't
not.
know if I believe that, honestly. I don't know if at this point I think he's naive. I think he's a true believer. He knows what he's doing and he's pushing this stuff on purpose. I do want to hear real quick from my co-host, lovely co-host Peaches, and her thoughts on the situation. What are your well, you've been listening to this talk for a little bit. What are some of your thoughts? Go ahead, ma'am.
So it's tough because I'm just trying to figure out like why the heck he like cuz like is there even a reason that was stated for like why they were revoked, or is
Something
it
it
just
would
guessing
they
or
weren't. I forget the official statement. Something like it would be contrary to good public order in the UK to have them in, or something like that. They were a threat to the good public order of the UK, I believe is a verbiage.
I feel like it's possible, you know? So I just feel like what if they have, what if I just feel like if they're not going to give like a or like cite a reason, it's hard to criticize when like it's like if he is doing like terrorist activism and stuff on his stream, I just feel like that's a really big deal,
It
you
is.
know?
I mean, I agree with it. This isn't. I don't think any of us are in disagreement with that. But the overall effect, like let's see what happens. Is it going to die down in the media? He's just all over the British media right now, and it's not good. He's
I
getting
mean,
pretty.
if they find that he should, be allowed entry, then I guess this is the way to do it if it's, wrong, but otherwise I think that it'll shed light on the reason why it's either good or bad. I hope that if they made a mistake that it ends up getting corrected. But
Oh, it's
I
not a
guess I
mistake.
don't
I mean,
immediately right. So, I mean, I think that if it's fair, it's fair, and I just feel like at a certain point, like what is it that he could I mean, is there really anything that I just don't see really doing much. If that's what he's actually doing, then I just feel like fine, so be
yeah,
it. You know
but
what I mean?
do you not think that if they just let him come in and do his thing, like he's been to Oxford, to Cambridge before, right? I mean, he does his thing. He gets his his clickbait and everything else done. And he leaves the country. It would have had less of an impact than now. He's getting the best advertisements ever. He's in the Guardian. He's on other left wing podcasts and everything else now. So he's getting far more exposure now than if they just let him come in, do his horrible propaganda, and then bugger off again.
I mean, if he gets a lot of exposure, I mean, does he really do a good job like converting that into a following?
That's the question. That's the question.
I don't
I'm
think
not
so.
sure if I have a my instinct is probably not, but he does get a lot of attention and clout from it. So if it's possible that he will bring people over to the side, it's now more possible than if they just let him speak. $20 from Audacity to say Eevee is mid. Real Pokemon masters go for Ninetales. Thank you for the $20.
I just feel like if he was like really capable of gaining some sort of crazy following because of some controversy that people rally behind, there's a million examples of that actually could have happened. I just don't think that he's just a dude that,
But do you
does
not think
terrorist
that?
activism and that's really it, I don't really
But
think that he's gonna turn into anything special, no?
but he has a big following already, and so how do we
But what does it
describe that?
do? And
Well,
if anything, then
I
if
mean,
that's a really big following,
Well,
what
what-
if they were concerned
Here,
about
when it-
actions taking place in the
Yes,
UK?
when it comes to Hasan, my
could have been a
issue
thing.
with Hasan, well, one of my issues with Hasan, I have a few, is that he creates a permission structure for people to not vote Democrat, to say both
Exactly.
parties are the same. I don't want to vote. He depresses the vote, is what he does in America and domestically, right?
It's a vote for Trump. He
Yes.
votes for Trump effectively.
He
Yes.
talks about it, and I would agree that that's not good, and I don't think that that's good, but I just feel like he doesn't do any real good job of, maybe, I don't know, of conforming people, or like actually, I don't think that really his message really has any impact, as far as he doesn't really gain much out of it, or like a following, or he never really grows off of any clout that he's given.
I mean, I
So,
live in
unless
Germany. I
someone
live in
else steps
Germany,
up,
and
or
I chat about. I mean, I live in Germany, and I go to gyms quite often, and there are people that know both Destiny and Hasan. And I have to be honest, Hasan is more popular here in Germany. It's not just
I
in
guess
the
I'm
US.
not thinking about. Okay, yeah, I guess I was only thinking about U.S. politics, so that is true.
Yeah, but I mean, if I can find people on the street here who know who he is, I mean, admittedly it's younger generations, then for sure in the US there are people
I
that
don't
know
know
who he is.
anybody that anyone, because of any age, I don't know anyone that knows Destiny or Hasan or really any political creator except for Asmongold, but
Well, that's not good either, right?
no, it's not. But
of all the three, okay, I don't know.
it's always Asmon.
Last point, my friend, and then we do have a bit of a line. And gang, if you want to call in and you want to talk to us about any topic whatsoever, jump backstage and we'll pull you in. But last point, and then we gotta let you go, my friend.
Sure, yeah. Just about the UK politics side of things. So we have a similar problem to the US. The Green Party has gone to this kind of radical left position. I mean, it depends on how you want to look at it, but they're populist now. And they're taking away the vote from Labour. They're looking at effectively destroying left unity. There's various reasons for it, but it simply can't be supported. And Hasan will basically encourage people to vote for the Green Party, which is effectively a vote for reform, this far-right party in the UK. So it's a very, very serious thing. I want to minimalise that, and whatever strategy it takes to minimalise that, that is the best strategy. So I guess we'll see in the end.
We'll see. In the
So
end.
thanks for having me on, though, and also I'm quite a Warhammer fan. So
Good. What's your army?
well, I'm more of a Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar. Like any undead army is
Okay,
fantastic
Tomb
for me.
Kings then, basically, right?
Brilliant. Oh yeah, that's one part
that's
of it.
the
Yeah.
fantasy army I play too. So
And,
good
and the
choice.
gash and you know
Skull
these kind of characters.
catapults and all that. Ushabti. Okay, I'll let you go.
Okay,
thanks for
cool.
calling in.
Yeah, thanks ever so much for having me on. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Have a great evening. Bye.
So, gang, if you want more info on the Hasan stuff and a more, I guess, fluid debate on that, a full debate on that, we're gonna have that on Friday. So, Lonerbox is coming on. Sid is coming on. I'm trying to bully Dev into coming on, but he's like, well, it's the game. I guess he's got some game shit, but we're gonna try to bully him on anyway. And then I asked Kraut if he would like to come on as well, so hopefully he says yes. So that should be a great Friday show. And you want more info on that, and you want to see more fights on that, that's the time. But let's bring on some of these other guests and see what they have to say. You doing okay, Peaches? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Getting
Yeah,
me thinking.
it's a
I'm
lot.
excited to tune in on Friday.
True. Hi, you're live. You're muted on your end.
Yep, got it.
Hi, what you got for
Welcome.
us?
Hey, how you doing? Fuck, what do I want to talk about more? Hasan or the fucking Nazi dude?
Platner?
Yeah. I guess my only thing I want to start with like a question about like the Hasan thing. Why are we already conceding the he's banned from the UK argument? Because he's not. They just took away his little special exception.
That was the other question that I had, but was it an exception? Because I was trying to look into that, because they removed the visa. Like the visa, is it the visa that he would have?
No, it was
apply under something else, is what I was wondering.
Yeah, in their statement, I don't have the statement pulled up, but in their statement they said he can apply for like a normal visa.
Okay, yeah.
They took away his like special travel one for like
That was my first question. I forgot it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's something like that. So I can't remember that. I was reading it, and it's the people were making it sound like the UK said no, Hasan is allowed to enter. No, they're no longer acknowledging him having like special permission to come to the UK, which I mean makes sense. I don't even know why we care that much about like the him not being allowed to, or like the UK limiting who can come in and stuff.
Here's my understanding.
Sometimes.
Here's my understanding of it.
Mhm.
Like, if he applied for normal visa, they would deny it
I'm
based on the
okay.
laws that they have.
But
That's my
why doesn't he
understanding.
try? He should try if he really wants to make a statement. Because this is the thing. Because he gets so much. Like, he could do a lot with this, you know? Like, he could actually go forward and apply and do the motions and get denied.
Do
and
work.
then think
Do
about how much
work.
bigger he
Do
would be at
actual
that point. He doesn't
political
actually
work.
care. Yeah, he
Are
doesn't
you
care. He doesn't
insane?
care about anything. That's
What are
why
you
it doesn't
talking about?
matter how much clout he gets. It doesn't do anything with it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's just.
No, it's fine. It's just we kind of are already, and we do this sometimes on the left. We kind of default concede some ground because we don't want to argue over the pedantics, or like we understand what you mean by he's banned, so we just use the language because it's easier to have the more important conversation. But I feel like we've often in these conversations we kind of concede stuff that we don't really need to concede.
Sure, that's fair.
By allowing that stuff.
No, that's fair. That's a fair criticism and things like that. But and had this been a formal debate, I think that you would be exactly correct. But we're doing a call-in show.
I know. I'm sorry.
We're trying our best.
But no,
to
but
quickly...
on that though, because you need the passion behind it. Because I just feel like, because if you think about Trump, and because I was trying to compare and think about activism on the right versus the left, but like if Hasan, because the way that he's operating in my eyes is that he might get more clicks. Maybe someone will find someone else other than him that's more passionate about the issue. But like if you don't keep people passionate, it's just going to be the same people that already know who you are, because no one actually cares to just continue to invest into something over a long term.
As to the more important conversation, as you correctly pointed out, I think that the big debate here will be the speech laws in the UK and how they decide who is allowed to come into their country and who isn't, and who is allowed to say what in their country. And I have a large problem with how UK conducts itself in this manner. And not just for Hasan, to be clear. I had a problem with them doing it when they banned, or when they revoked the visa things from Victoria Gomez, whatever the fuck her name is, right? And some other Tommy Robinson people, right? That's not the way I think that they should handle speech, or any country should handle speech. But I'm an American, right? I'm a First Amendment advocate, so that's pretty much my position. Now, again, it's a debate, and it's worth having, and it's worth a conversation that's worth having. But that's where it will lie. Should a country not allow people inside of it if they have, if they're going to talk and propagandize for really bad dudes like terrorists and stuff? That's the question.
You want me to be on? So the answer to that question is yes, the UK has some pretty strict speech laws that, as a liberal American, we are antithetically against. But of all of the people we ally with that we're going to start policing the way they police speech, I think Saudi Arabia should be higher on the list than the UK. I think the fact that I think that of all the allies we allow to do some pretty fuck shit, I think UK not wanting streamers to have special permission to say messed up stuff.
Sure, I don't think America should force these other countries to adopt our speech laws. Not yet. That's when. Just wait till the Lockheed liberals get in full control, and then we'll talk about.
Listen, once we have Greenland, and once we have Venezuela, and then who else are we taking? I don't know. Once we get all at Canada, maybe if UK's next on the list, we can worry about it.
Yeah, but my point here is that we should advocate for what policies that we want to see, not just in our country, but other countries as well. And I think that our country has pretty good speech laws. They're not perfect, but pretty good speech laws. And we tend toward, I think we're one of the most free speech friendly countries on the planet right now.
Yeah, I think we're free speech almost to a detriment. We toe
Well,
that
there's a
line
cost to
sometimes.
free speech.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, right. But so what I'm going to say is two things on that. One, I understand what you're saying. We do want to kind of influence our ally. You don't want to be allied with people. You kind of want to. You believe in liberalism, so you want to spread liberalism. I think the second point is we kind of lost the right to do that with like how much soft power how isolationist we've become with this president. We elected Donald Trump. We've become an isolationist country. We've done all these tariffs. We've kind of nerfed a lot of our soft power. So what right do we even have to tell why are they going to listen to us when we tell them how to run their countries?
I don't know about right is the right word.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely correct though. If you replace right with effectiveness, like obviously Trump is the worst president we have had in terms of free speech in my lifetime. Just completely gutting free speech protections, and it's terrible, and we don't want to see it, and we wanted to reverse it. But I understand how it comes across as hypocritical. When J.D. Vance goes to the UN or goes to one of these conferences and starts wagging his finger at the European Union and the UK for them being anti-free speech, because the Trump administration is also anti-free speech. So yeah, we do got to get our house in order. That's absolutely true.
Oh,
but once
well,
we
I'm not even talking about the hip. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I wasn't even talking about that. I was saying like the reason America used to be able to tell everybody what to do, the reason we were able to kind of lead the charge on Western society is because of our influence, right? We had so much global influence that we were able to kind of, we're America. We're the people who lead how. I don't know how to say this. Like decisions usually, even in other countries, they kind of ran it through us first because we had so much. Our roots were spread so out. We've retracted all that. It's not just about the hypocrisy. It's about like we've kind of isolated. We moved away. We're tariffing. We're cutting up allyships. I wouldn't even. Some of these countries may not even consider us allies during Trump's administration. So we have no influence to even try and tell them how to run their country.
Yeah, that's all correct. Unfortunately, that is mostly correct. We've lost a lot of our leverage. We lost a lot of our soft power. That's going to be the task of the next couple administrations, unfortunately, is to repair the damage.
I feel like when it comes to free speech, though, it's more about
ahead.
Respect. I think that when it comes to free speech and stuff, it's more about respect than anything, because you were saying like soft power and like people had to like kind of funnel through the US in order to get stuff done, and to a point that did happen in some cases. But I would say that when because if we're talking about free speech, right, then I think that it's more just like we have no respect anywhere, so why would anybody want to emulate anything that the US is doing, because it's just a fucking joke all around. I think that that's more the case in that. But I mean, sorry, I kind of was going to say that like earlier, so I feel like it's less.
Oh, you're fine.
It's more muted now, but I think that that was a.
Okay, well, there we go. Thank you for calling in, sir. I do.
Oh man, we didn't even get to the Nazi guy. All right.
Oh, we can talk about that guy, but
yeah.
We'll stay in line, and if no one else shows up, maybe we'll play you back in. How's that? But I want to make sure that people got a chance if they want a chance. Cool.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. We already got some great topics. We already got some great conversations going on. We already got some excellent meat on these bones. I'm excited. Before we get to other callers, though, and gang, if you want to get in line, now's the time. Just jump backstage. What are your thoughts on Graham Platner? I'm really curious.
So I kept forgetting to like Google it, and I just completely forgot, because I've heard like people talking about it, but I think.
Well, what do you
are
what
these
do you
all
know
of the
about
text
the guy?
messages
what do you
that
know
I
about the guy
saw?
at the top of your head? Right.
Really nothing.
Fair enough. So, well, let me kind of fill.
What do I know about him? I mean, I'm assuming, are these the like crazy text messages that I've been seeing getting posted places, and like what the fuck are
fake,
these?
To be
and then
clear, they're
move
very
on?
funny.
You think they're fake?
But they're fake, I think.
No, really?
Yeah, they're very funny. They're very, very funny. But no, I'm pretty sure they're fake.
Why is PBS?
The stuff like, is it the one where he calls his penis Mein Fuhrer and asks the lady if he's going to...
I did read that
if
one.
If he can blitzkrieg that ass. Yeah, I'm
Are there any
90%
real
sure
ones,
that's
though?
fake.
Are there
It's
real ones?
very
Are there real
funny,
text
bro.
messages?
Would that work? Like, say you get a
I
text
thought that was
message middle of the night,
real.
like, "Hey, my penis is mine pure. Can I come and blitzkrieg that ass?" Does that ever would that ever work on anyone? I don't think it would. I don't think that's an effective pickup line. That's just me, though. I don't know. What do I know, right?
Maybe today, now that it's a meme, but not yesterday.
It means, oh Jesus Christ!
It could be a
It's
good pickup line now.
yeah. There's a lot of memes going around. So, Platner is the presumptive Democratic nominee for Maine, and
Oh
I say presumptive
no!
because I think Collins dropped out, I believe, or stopped her campaign. So he's almost assuredly going to win the nomination for the Democratic Senate candidate. He unfortunately, he's been beset and plagued by controversy.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy with the tattoo, the Totenkopf tattoo, the Nazi tattoo.
Aha,
Do
yes.
you remember
Okay.
that guy?
I forgot we were calling him Nazi guy earlier. Okay.
Okay, same guy. Okay.
Mm.
He got a tattoo when he was in the military, and it was a Totenkopf. It was like an SS symbol, basically, like or what the SS would wear, like the skull type thing. And he called it his little Totenkopf and things like that. And he got caught, lying about it, and saying he didn't know what it was, but there's contradictory evidence that suggests that he did. So that was my first kind of issue with the guy. I don't like being lied to. I don't think it would have been a big deal if he had admitted, like, hey, I was 20.
There's
I
a
got
spin you
drunk.
could put on it, right?
Huh?
Like, this is why I'm passionate about my politics, and this is what I do, and this is a reminder every day of the blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a way to do it, is all I'm saying.
Like, it's like, hey, I was young, I was dumb, I got a stupid tattoo. It was edgy. It's not who I am anymore. And here I am.
Imagine, I don't know what it is.
Blah, blah,
It's
blah,
a tattoo. How many things do you get tattooed on your body that you don't know anything about?
I don't know.
Other than, do you remember when Ariana Grande got, what was it, barbecue grill in some, like, language that she didn't know?
I don't know about that. I'm unfamiliar with Ariana Grande.
That was so
tattoos.
funny to me. Because it was when she was already, like, super huge. So it's like, how did nobody know that she was getting something wrong tattooed? Anyways.
Well, a lot of white people get Chinese tattoos, and they don't know Chinese, and it says some really fucked up shit. So,
but at this point, she probably had a makeup crew, she had wardrobe, she had assistants, and no one knew that her tattoo was gonna say barbecue grill.
someone should have told her, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, maybe her makeup artist or whatever hated her, and I was like, okay, yeah, it says happy. That's what it means, and let her get it. I don't know.
Maybe she actually really sucks, and that's a sign. Anyways,
it could be. It could be.
He knew what it was.
That was the first scandal with this
bullshit.
guy. Okay.
Yes.
So then it comes out that there were Reddit logs from years ago where he made some pretty shitty comments, misogynist, racist comments, things like that. And again, years ago, fair enough. Not a huge deal, at least to me. The lying about the Nazi tattoo, huge deal. But the Reddit comments, okay, it was 10 years ago, you said some stupid shit, whatever. I guess the latest issue, though, is he got caught sexting like 6 to 7 different women right after he got married, and he was hiding it from his wife, and his wife kind of just found out recently as well. And again, it goes to, he keeps lying about these things, right?
Wait, how did this come out? Did the wife find the text messages and leak them herself?
No, I think it was,
I think was gonna say Queen, but
I think it was like either a former campaign manager or something revealed these things. A staffer of some sort got wind of it. Something like that, I believe. Darko says, Wick TV, are you deliberately getting details wrong? I'm not deliberately getting details wrong. I'm going off memory. If I've gotten something wrong, please tell me. Polygraph lie detector says the story is the wife revealed it when they initiated the campaign. Oh, the wife disclosed to campaign aide at the start, and that campaign aide leaked it recently. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, so it came out that he had been sexting a bunch of girls, and there were, I don't know. It's again, if this was the only issue that he had, right? Like if this was the only thing that had come out about this guy, whatever. It's not my favorite, but okay. But this combined with the tattoo, with lying about that tattoo, with all the comments that they found that he made on Reddit and in other places, it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, this guy's just a walking red flag. What else are we going to find out about this guy? I am not a fan of Platner. I hope for a miracle that he doesn't end up being the nominee, but I think he's going to end up being the nominee. But yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad.
Still?
They also found out he had a Kick account, which is I don't know what a Kick account is. Well, I don't know. Like, is that like a kink thing?
No. Basically, it ended up becoming a messaging app because it was basically for minors, and so it got like.
To be clear, I don't think there's any allegations of him texting minors. I did not see any of that. Okay, I don't think that's even an allegation. But I don't know.
But okay, how did she find, or are any of the text messages real that were posted, or why do you think that they're not real?
I don't know about. I don't know. I haven't seen all the text messages that got posted, right?
But the ones that you have seen, you don't think they're real?
Well, no, the one where he calls his penis Mein Fuhrer, I don't think that's real. No.
Why not?
I don't. Okay. I don't think he calls his penis Mein Fuhrer. I'm pretty sure that's not true. I think it's a joke. I don't think he ever texted someone and said, "You want me to come blitzkrieg that ass?" I don't think he did. I could be wrong.
Is there another example of a text that you think is real that he did?
I don't think we've seen the actual text messages, right? I think they just talked about it. But
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna let you know.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in.
What's good, Wick? What's good, Peach? I can call you Peach?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, please.
All right. So, from what I know regarding this Platner thing, obviously you got the sexting stuff correct. It was like 12 different women, and this happened last year. So this is a story that's actually been in the grapevines and in the back lines for about a year because his wife spoke with a campaign manager talking about it, and then she just held on to it, and then recently she leaked it, and she said the reason why she leaked it is because the current manager of Platner pressured her and started talking shit to her, and she was like, "What?" Like, there's a whole screenshot you can find on Twitter, very easy. It's like 2 paragraphs. And then she was like, I can't stand for this guy. He's bad. Leaked it to, I forget which source they leaked it to. So that's kind of like how it all worked. And then obviously, I'm sure you've seen the videos. The wife is going on damage control for Platner to make it seem like he's an okay guy. So
they're still together? This is all new to me.
They are still together, correct? Yes. So my issue is more so, even though I think the cheating stuff is cringe, especially when Platner is trying to be like this high valued man, and he's supposed to be the epitome of what a man is and all that bullshit. My biggest issue is the victimhood. I don't know if you've been seeing it, Wick, but he's been going on different channels and going like, they're just coming after me. I'm not a bad guy. The DNC establishment, they're just coming after me. So I feel like that's the most problematic thing. And it gives, dare I say, it gives MAGA. It gives MAGA.
Let's watch this. I think this is useful. You
Ooh.
guys want to pull up the watch screen or whatever? You guys get
Yes,
that?
please.
Okay.
Who it is?
His
Oh, I'll
wife.
find out.
That's his wife.
No,
This
that's
the
not his
wife?
wife. That's not his wife.
Oh no, that's another
Oh.
lefty that was
That's a
talking about
lefty.
it.
Yeah, she made a comment on this that I found. Well, we'll talk about it after we hear it. It's not long. It's about 2 minutes. Let's see what they have to say. Okay.
Let's talk about Graham Platner. Now, let's get one thing straight. I don't live in Maine. I don't actually have a say here. My opinion super doesn't matter. He seems like a flawed person who's been through some shit and come out the other side. I don't think he's a Nazi, for what it's worth. I think he was a drunk Marine in Croatia, and when you walk into a tattoo parlor there in the time period he was there, basically anything you picked off the wall would have been problematic. And no, I don't love everything he's ever posted on Reddit, but I think people are allowed to grow and change. And Mainers seem to have accepted that he has changed. There's a reason he was soaring ahead in the primary polls. He's out there answering questions and defending himself every day. They are not making this choice blindly. But most importantly, he is going to be the Democratic nominee for the United States Senate against Susan Collins. So whether you like him or not, he is who we have to support. And if you don't like that, if you do not like that outcome, the person to be mad at is not him, it's the fucking Democratic Party and Chuck Schumer. Because the fact that the only person they could find to run against him or run in this race at all was Janet Mills, someone who didn't want to be a senator, who wanted to be retired from governor. This was not a serious, option. I feel about this the same way I feel about, the centrists who were, freaking out about Mamdani in the New York primary. If you really took him seriously, you would have found someone besides fucking Andrew Cuomo to get behind. Is Graham Platner a perfect person? No, but he is better than Susan Collins. We gotta help him win. And we have to, as a party, think a little bit longer term about building a deep bench of exciting, interesting talent who are vetted, who are good communicators and value-driven leaders who can show up, reflect their communities, and can run for higher office a few years down the road.
This made me so angry when I saw it. This made me so upset. The whole idea that the real people we should be mad at because Graham Platner got a Nazi tattoo, because Graham Platner lied about that tattoo, because Graham Platner texted 13 different women and started sexting with them right after he got married, okay, is Chuck Schumer. What kind of world are we living in here? Chuck Schumer didn't hold a gun to his head and force him to get that tattoo. Chuck Schumer didn't force him to text all those women, okay? Chuck Schumer isn't some fucking puppet master out here pulling the strings for decades to make this guy probably one of the most dishonest people that I think I've seen run as a Democrat in a long, long time. It's the idea that nothing is ever their fault. They're all these NPCs that can only react, and it's the DNC and Chuck Schumer who we should really be mad at in this situation, that I just cannot stomach or stand. Your candidate, Platner, is kind of a shit candidate. Unfortunately, he's going to win the nomination, so that is what it is, but that's not Schumer's fault. Okay.
I just think, why say vote blue no matter who and blame Chuck Schumer when in the beginning, why is she saying that he has no, it's let's say he didn't know what that tattoo was when he got it. He never bothered to look it up ever and never cared to ever know, and so it was just an I don't know. So I just feel like she's still just sweeping for him in the beginning. And so if you're gonna say vote blue no matter who, I just feel then why are you trying to sweep for the dude in the very beginning? That's also just really dishonest. So the whole thing is just dishonest, in my opinion, because it's I don't know. So it's not even an argument that I could even listen to, because I just don't respect it. If you're gonna say shit I think he did this, and he doesn't know what it is, and he doesn't, it just...
So
You know
in
what I mean?
general, I would say, of course, I don't like the overall premise that is being outlined there, because it's alleviating blame from Platner very clearly, despite him the one making the mistakes. However, if I were to steel man a little bit, she said something that's very interesting. Terrible comparison, because Cuomo is not Jeanette Mills, but one of the big criticism is, if Platner's so bad, then why didn't you put out a better primary candidate? Also worth noting, I found this out recently.
Janet Mills was a good candidate. The only flaw she really had was she was old. And that's true. That's a flaw. That's something they should take care of. But she was a great governor. She was a great candidate. Like, the idea that she wasn't a good candidate, I just reject that. Obviously, she didn't win, but that doesn't mean she wasn't a good candidate.
Well, technically, she's still on the ballot. So there's a magical world where even though she stopped campaigning, somehow she wins. It's possible. It's unlikely, but it's possible. But I mean, I agree with you, Wick. But the point that you have to kind of contend with is not necessarily whether or not she was a good candidate and her policy was good, because I probably agree with you there. The old stuff matters a lot. And when you know that a lot of people are very surface level voters that go like, old person, no, bad, I'm not voting for them, then you probably should have an alternative. And the alternative being Platner probably wasn't the best decision, considering all the skeletons in his closet you've known for years at this point. So even though I would vote for Mills, I agree with you. The voter base hates old people right now.
No one actually cares about voting an old person in. No one actually cares at the end of the day. Who, like, do people still vote for Joe Biden? Do people still vote for Trump? They still do it. It doesn't actually matter at the end of the day. If that's who you have, that's who you're going to vote for. And you're not going to just not vote.
Well, that doesn't mean they don't care, right? So it's not like they hate it so much.
But it's not like to say, like, oh, well, like, this is a great person, but they can't win because they're so old.
$5.
You know what I mean? I just feel like focusing on it is less of an issue.
Well, let me make a little money, boys and girls, okay? $5 from my listening library. Thank you for the $5, sir. Says, do you not blame the Republicans for protecting the party from Trump? I 100% blame the Republican Party for Trump becoming the nominee. I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's the same. I think that if you were to blame the Republican Party in 2016 during the primaries for Trump, they hadn't nominated him yet, and they hadn't supported him yet. And frankly, the pushback I'm seeing from Democrats against Platner is more than I saw the pushback from Republicans against Trump. But it's been over a decade. Maybe I'm misremembering, okay? But that's what I'm seeing, right? There's a lot of people who just don't want to support Platner because of all the baggage he has. And I think that speaks well to our party, right? That there are lines that some of us are just unwilling to cross. And the Republicans, unfortunately, absolutely are. But to be clear, the lady that we just saw was trying to excuse and get Platner nominated, right? That her goal is to promote Platner, right? And to excuse his wrongdoing by saying Chuck Schumer and the DNC are to blame. And I just reject that. I reject that framing, and I reject that message. I don't think that's true.
Also, is it even too late? Like, I know he's projected to win, but is there no
Janet
changing our minds? Yeah, I was just saying, like, I feel like now is the time to go, okay, this sucks, push. Like, I don't know why everyone's like, you got to support Blue no matter who. We're still in the primary. Fight back. Put the old person in. Who's the other one? Who's the Republican nominee or projected winner? Forgetting the name. Yeah, Collins. Aren't they also old?
Collins is like 50s.
I don't know how old Collins is.
Oh, okay, I don't know. I don't know what old is anymore. I just assume everyone who runs in government
73.
She's 73.
Janet Mills or Susan
right?
Collins? Janet Mills or
Janet Mills is
Which
78.
one?
Susan Collins.
Susan Collins is 73.
Is this the right Susan Collins? Yeah, 73.
So we're both 70 plus. So we're putting two old people against each other. Nothing's more American than two old people running for an office. I don't.
True.
I don't know why.
Right?
Yeah.
Two old women.
I do want to kind of push against or like ask for some clarity from Riddell a little bit. When people make the argument like put a better candidate up, what does that mean? When like does the DNC anoint people who run? Like we need people to run, and then we pick from who runs. So like the options were Nazi tattoo dude who cheats on his wife or an old lady. I don't know how we can put it on the Democratic Party for not having better candidates. I feel like we need better people to want to be in politics.
Wait. A Nazi or old lady? What's so wrong with the old lady?
No,
Is
that's
it
what I'm
Nazi
saying.
or old lady?
Well, that's why I'm
The
saying
being
like
Saying that
those
those
are the
two
people.
are bad?
No, I
Oh,
just
well,
said
one-
that those are
descriptors.
bad?
One,
Get rid of
she's
old
a
people,
woman,
obviously.
first of all. Okay, that's
Yeah.
strike
Yeah,
one.
I mean,
Okay.
shit.
Yeah.
Strike two, old. Okay, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
So I mean, the
You
bigger thing for here is generally I agree with you because it does depend like who's running, who's active, all that stuff.
Mhm.
It's really just entering the mindset of these normies who don't really know how it works and go like DNC, you choose the candidate, you're the ones pushing people, so it's your fault for putting this other person. That's why she used the Andrew Cuomo example without knowing like his prior history, of course. And I do think that that is improper. I think it's a bit ignorant. But one thing I will say that is important from like my speculation, and I've talked with a former congressman and I've talked with a congresswoman about this, is that even though this is not put on the front screen, there's a lot of them that do note that the DNC will pick a preference at some point when they think they found a winner. And one of the things that I was told from this guy and her is that there's a possibility, I won't say this for certainty, but there's a possibility that the DNC gave up on Janet Mills, told her to stop her campaign, and was like, Platner, you're our guy. And I can't prove that, but this is typically how the strategy works. Because when I spoke with the someone who was running for the 7th district of Ohio, one of the things she put out is she put out a little like manifesto. She told us that the DNC just stopped working with her to push Brian Poindexter. Now I'm not throwing shade at Brian Poindexter, but they were limiting her resources, they were limiting her contacts. Certain organizations stopped talking to her all of a sudden. So if that is the case where the DNC felt like even though there's a ongoing primary that Platner's the guy and they pressured Mills to drop down or stop her campaign, then at that point that would be a realistic criticism for
Well,
the
no,
DNC.
at that point, then yes, you can blame the DNC for doing that. I don't know if that's true. This is the first I'm hearing of that, so I have no insight into that whatsoever.
No, that's fine.
I do find
First
it
off, real
interesting.
people who exist are named Poindexter. What the fuck's going on here?
Sure, I don't.
That's like a real last name.
It's a real last name. I do find it interesting though that because we see this a lot with MAGA too, is they will do the populist line of they're the elite and we're the people, okay? We're the common folk, they're the elite. While they run all the institutions. They have all the power. They're the ones in the presidency, right? They're the ones who control the House. They're the ones who control the Senate. And they act as if they are the running for the little guy against the elite institutions when it's actually the opposite. So it will be interesting. It will be interesting if there is some truth to what you say, Riddell, that Platner's whole shtick is he's running against the DNC elites and all those when he's the
Janet
guy
Mills
the DNC
also.
picked. But I don't know if that's true. That's the first I've heard of it. But it would be interesting.
She has
definitely.
earned more votes than any governor in Maine history. It is the first since 1970 to be elected with a majority of the vote for both terms in office.
She's a good candidate. I agree.
We're going with the Nazi dude.
I don't
Well,
like
what
it.
the heck?
I don't
But
like
No,
they
we're
didn't
not.
really
We're
just
going with the
woman.
Nazi dude. Shush! Why are you
Look,
saying that?
maybe
We're
me-
going with the
okay.
no. Just talk about her freaking accomplishments.
You know how
Get
you know
people to
how
vote
we
for
have
her.
you know how we have
Excuse
issues
me.
with Florida Indians in Florida? Maybe we should have a talk with Maines and Mainers, okay? Like, what are you doing here? What's going
Aliens.
on?
Or
What kind of
maniacs.
choices are we making here? Because honestly, at the end of the day, Maine decides who Maine nominates. I don't get to vote there. You don't
True.
get to vote there unless you live in Maine. I don't think you do. I just think it's a really shitty idea, and I wouldn't want to live in Maine if that's the kind of people that they have living there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I got heat from Pisco online on Twitter. I logged in for like the first time in ages because I was on the call last week. I told you I had surgery and I was like stuck, so I went back online after being off for a while. I don't suggest that. If you get off Twitter, just stay off. But one of the things I argued with him about was like Platner winning is bad for the Democratic Party because it's going to affect us going forward. And I can't articulate this because I don't pay for premium, so I can't use all the characters and I can't be bothered to type so many replies. But the Republicans have the benefit for some reason the rational Republican is always who the Republican Party is associated with. So like whoever the most rational Republican is, for some reason the moderates or like non plugged in people assume that's the entire Republican Party, whereas the Democrats are always associated with our most radical or insane people. Like the fact that every Democrat gets painted with the brush of like um, whoever the most unhinged is in the party. Or I think people online complain about this online. Some other streamers have talked about this about like the Twitter users or who we're compared to with Democrats, whereas we're trying to point to the president of the United States for Republicans and it's getting dismissed. So when we elect Platner going forward, the Republicans are going to use that as a cudgel. You guys elected a dude who cheats on his wife with a Nazi tattoo, you know, that has all this history, and you guys decided to elect him. The Democratic Party, yeah. You know, I mean, they still use the talking point, we were the party of the KKK or whatever. And, you know, you'll still hear Republicans use the talking point that we were the party that, you know, abolished slavery or whatever, you know?
I hear it all the time. So
It's one of those things where, yes, the reason that's true, and what you say is true, because yes, the Republican and the conservative messaging team has been, and they've done this for years. This has been a years-long project where they have decided to paint every Democrat as the most insane Democrat you can find, or insane progressive, or insane lefty that you can find. That is who Democrats are. They were wildly successful in this media campaign. And unfortunately, one of the mistakes the Democrats have made is they play into it. And we as Democrats have this, I think it's bad tendency, to be clear, to knee-jerk defend anyone that is seen to be on our team. And so when you have libs of TikTok or when you have one of these other accounts pull up someone who is legitimately crazy, legitimately a bad person, right, and say, this is the Democrats. A lot of Democrats will see this and feel the need to stick up for their team and defend it. We should not have done that, and we played into their hands by doing that. And I do think that as a third problem that we have, after Trump got elected in 2016, we gave some of our keys and megaphones to wreckers, okay, for lack of a better term. People who whole purpose was to reshape and reimagine the Democratic Party in a more leftist image. And that has been a disaster for us electorally and messaging-wise. But that's my
Well,
thoughts.
what does being critical look like nowadays? And this is something I'm struggling
What
with
do you
as
mean
well,
being
because
critical? Like, in what context?
in the context of when it comes down to these candidates, because in all
Are we
intents and
talking Platner
purposes,
specifically?
Platner specifically, of course. We'll see some of the other elections if they decide to put someone crazy. We'll see regarding Syed. I don't really have a strong opinion regarding him, but we'll see, of course. But if Platner goes in there, does this thing, tries to push the kind of leftist, Medicare for all type stuff, of course, and he ends up trying to push votes in through the Senate. Nothing goes in. And he goes like, you know why we didn't get it passed through? Because the DNC establishment, and just does the whole populist thing.
They're wreckers.
What?
Yeah, that's
What
what I mean by
does
wreckers, okay? They're not here. They're here to get power at the expense of Democrats, not with Democrats.
I agree to that. So the biggest point here, though, is it's always a comparative analysis, and this is the struggling point. Platner is going to win the primary, even though Janet Mills technically still has a chance. He's going to
No, I
win the
agree with that.
primary.
He's gonna
So
win.
it's going to be Platner versus Collins for the general. MAGA, I think we all agree, all of them should lose.
Yes.
However, Platner is a Trojan horse that could really not only ruin the image, like old boy was saying down here, but also be antagonistic to the Democratic Party in power, kind of like Fetterman. So going through these elections, how are we supposed to talk about Platner? Do we just like ignore everything? Go like, hey man,
No, I don't think we should. I don't think we should ignore it. I think we should criticize him for the things he's done, but also make it clear, like, hey, he's shitty, but Collins is probably worse for a lot of reasons. That said, I'm so glad I don't have to vote in Maine because I
Same.
don't know if I could pull that trigger, right? I don't know if I could pull that lever at the end of the day. And I'm just being real with you guys here. It's a red line for me, and I'd be like, I might just sit home I don't know, and I think that there's a lot of Democrats who are going through that same struggle right now up there. That's why I think it's a disaster if he gets nominated. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I think that he might be like the worst possible pick for the seat. But we'll see. $5 from True Striker to say, after next Tuesday, all of this is moot. I don't think you can replace a candidate after. Get your brooms out of the closet because it's sweeping time. So, one, you can, and we learned that in the 2024 election. Okay.
Well, state elections are different than federal, so they have
Maybe.
state constitutions that sometimes make it actually.
I just don't know.
And I think I saw
some.
Well, I'm pretty sure I saw somebody. I was watching Hutch earlier, and I think he was saying that when he was reading up on it, once they're nominated, there actually isn't a process for replacement after primary.
Okay. Well, that's bad.
So
why are we crying when it hasn't even happened yet, and we can just talk about how great she is? And like, why are we crying when we're like, we don't know, you don't know anything about her? She's amazing. So take the time to talk about how amazing she is instead of crying about it.
Well, I mean, how
many years to cry about it? How many years are you gonna have to cry about it if he's voted in? You know
so
how many
Wickers here would actually vote for Platner over her in the primary? Like, let's be honest. So, like, none of us. I don't think any of us are in Maine. So, I think most of us. How many of your viewers who are watching this?
What?
Do you think would vote for her?
I have no idea how many.
So,
where
if you think if you have enough people in your stream,
Wicca for you, sir. Okay, Wicca. Okay, I can use the hard R. Okay, you stick to the A. So first of all,
okay.
That's the point, because like no one here is like there to vote. Like,
I mean, I get what you're saying, and if we're on a larger platform or if we had more support, I would support it. But like, no, I get it's
crazy.
Just there's no one else doing this. Like, everyone else has already switched to Platner's gonna go ahead and win.
No one else doing what?
Let's get bit. So
no one else doing what?
Pushing for her. Like, she's even backed out. She's even stopped.
No one is. No one is.
Hold on. I already supported my woman. I got Spanberger elected. I voted. We got our woman in. All right. But no, the problem is she's also stopped trying. So she stopped fighting.
No.
I mean,
she's fighting as of like an hour ago. She's still talking.
Is she saying she's still running?
She's going. Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
2 hours ago.
Her campaign is done. She just clarified something on Twitter, on social media or media or something like that. Because everybody.
How do you know that?
Well, I saw it too. She said she's still on the ballot, which is technically correct. And lefties are going crazy. It's like, what? You lied to us? No, she never lied to you. She just said she stopped her campaign. She didn't say her name's off the ballot.
That doesn't mean so.
You could vote for her.
Off the ballot.
She's not doing commercials. She's not doing ads. She's not.
She stopped
promoting
just
herself.
to be more clear. She stopped campaigning.
I'm not talking about her either.
Campaigning.
No one's.
Yes. Yeah.
So what? She's the only one that can campaign. She's the only one that can talk.
Well,
no, everybody else could talk about it.
She's still on the ballot.
Town hall.
She's still on the ballot.
Yeah.
That's
vote for her. If you're in Maine, vote for her.
Maine, vote for Mills.
Fuck the Nazi tattoo guy. Vote for her. Get the 70-plus-year-old woman in office. It's better than Nazi dude.
One of the highest. So she was Maine's governor during the COVID. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She had one of the highest vaccination rates and one of the lowest death rates. She also raised the public teacher minimum teacher salary, which as a teacher, that makes me very excited. Okay. Delivered free community college. Cut taxes for Maine retirees.
Listen, almost any Democrat that has ever held an office is going to have a policy record that is 10x more impressive than any Republican or progressive.
True.
It's just
okay.
But I'm not comparing.
I got to throw a flag on the play.
I got to
throw a flag on the play. We got some other callers in, and this has been a robust discussion. I appreciate Riddell, and I appreciate you, my friend, for calling in. But we're gonna cycle you out, okay? With the call.
No problem.
That's fun.
You enjoying
She's
yourself?
great.
You having fun?
Yes. I'm having so much fun reading about her.
Excellent. This is what we have. And you know what? Can I just say how nice it is to talk politics instead of some of the other conversations I've been having recently? Not that I don't mind drama, right? Depending.
Are you going to jinx it?
Huh?
Are you going to...
Am I going to jinx it? Okay, I thought you said juice it. I'm like, am I juicing it? What am I...
to juice it?
I don't know, but jinx it, I might. What is this girl's name? This is Baby Peach, okay? You can find her on Twitch and you can find her on Twitter. I got a
Kick,
link to her
basically.
Twitch in the YouTube
Oh
description.
yeah, I didn't even remember my Twitter. It's been so long.
Yes, but luckily it was actually in our old DMs, and I was able to find it there.
Oh hell yeah.
Boom, easy.
Perfect.
Let's bring on the next contestant. Hello, you're live.
Hey. All right, so my thought here, or my issue here, is actually with you, Wick.
Okay, I'm ready.
I
Give it
love
to
your
me.
content, man. I usually mostly agree with you on everything, but what you just said, oh man, that triggered me so much that you'd have like a hard time pulling the trigger if
I
you had to
would.
vote in Maine. I get it. I get it. You got to stick to your morals, and there are things that I would agree. Like I was kind of on board on the whole maybe the tattoo wasn't a big deal because people do stupid stuff. So background, right? I worked a lot with the military, so I get that. But I could maybe stomach it. It's just gotten worse and worse, and the lies are a problem. But I'll tell you, man, I think I would vote for near anyone over anyone in
Would
the
you
GOP
vote for
right
Hitler
now.
over Collins?
Over Collins? You know what? There's an argument to be made that at least he would
See,
vote against
that's
the
where
GOP.
you lose me. That's where you lose me. I gave you something obvious, right? Something super obvious. Like I get it.
No,
I get it.
You say
MAGA's
that, but
bad.
the question is no. But the question is it's an extreme example, but
Yes, that's why I gave it to you. It should have been a slam dunk.
no, because here's the thing: what is actually realistic? So let's say in the extreme example, right? One person is voting along a party that is right now actually getting things done or pushing things, and you add another outlier that is extreme, completely irrelevant to both parties. As much as I don't like the GOP, they're not Nazis. It's completely irrelevant to both parties, so it's a non-factor. It's something that's not actually going to have
Sure,
any impact
no,
on anything.
Hitler's dead, thank God, right?
Right. So
But,
that's why I mean, right? Yes, there are people who would be worse inside the GOP.
Yeah.
You could actually be politically effective, but this is not anywhere near that level. And so while I agree, it's very possible he turns into a Fetterman. I agree, it's very possible that he votes, let's say, with the GOP 50% of the time, or screws up 50% of the Democratic legislation. Like that is still better than putting in someone who actually.
I understand the calculation, and I largely agree with it. And that's why I said I would have a hard time, but I didn't say I wouldn't do it, right? I would have to get very, very drunk. Okay, I've done a lot of things that I had a hard time doing, but you get really drunk, and then you push through, okay?
I agree on that.
That's it. That's it.
guess.
Let me just kind of give you my thoughts here on this.
Yeah, please do.
Right. From an effectiveness standpoint, right, from a utilitarian standpoint, I think you're exactly correct. However, I don't just go by those kind of calculations. There are things that people can do that even if it would be overall good for most people if I did X, I still would not do X because they've crossed a line that I find reprehensible, that I cannot overcome. Lying about a Nazi tattoo, again, it's not the Nazi tattoo specifically. It's the lying about it that gives me such pause that I think I don't know if I can. Yeah, I don't know if I can trust this guy at all, right? Like, and because the kind of arguments that I hear you guys making is how the Republicans fell to MAGA, right? They made those exact calculations in reverse. They said, well, Democrats are super bad. We got to stop them at any cost. So we're going to make the deal with the devil here. We're going to make a deal with the devil, Trump, and we're going to use him. We're going to get what we want, and then we can cast him aside. That did not work for them. The Republicans have been hollowed out. They are a shell, and MAGA controls them like a parasite at this point. And we saw this with the Massey election recently and some other elections recently, the primary elections, right? MAGA is still in control of the Republican Party wholesale. And that's what I don't want to see happen to my party. I don't want to see us become parasited by really bad actors. And I think Platner is probably a really bad actor. And so I worry about that, and I don't want that to happen.
I completely agree with you on that piece. Like 1,000% agree. I think Peach, is that the right way to call you? Sorry. Yeah, I think she's right. Like this should not have gotten past primary. Like this shouldn't be in a situation where he is the presumptive primary nominee. That's where we should have taken that fight and dealt with that. I think that is indicative of major issues that he is the presumptive nominee, and I think that's where you take that fight. Like, I think I agree with you. Like, that is where we need to be stemming this problem of the rising populism, the idea that being quote unquote progressive covers such a multitude of sins that we would consider them disqualifying for other factors. I think that's where we adjust with that. Unfortunately, I guess, and this maybe I am being too pragmatic here, but I feel like ultimately, right now we just have to bite the bullet and deal with it, and then understand that that problem exists, and fight with that problem where it actually can be dealt with, which is in the primaries.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
sir, for calling in.
Yeah, man, I
appreciate
appreciate
you
it.
coming at
Thank
me.
you for agreeing with
with
me
this
and saying
one.
I'm right, and I'm just kidding.
I do think
Thank you.
you're right, 100%. No, like, and I just make you feel better, brother. I did the same thing early on, like when Hillary's emails came out. Like, my background's IC stuff, so like the whole like leaking classified documents really hit me. Like, now when it first came out, it was like such a huge deal. So I totally understand your opinions on that. You know, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah,
as
I didn't
far
care
as
about the
understanding.
email thing, honestly. But
Really? Oh, man, that
I worked
triggered
in
me
I worked
so
in
bad.
I worked in military intelligence, and I knew the kind of shit people got up to, and
Yeah.
that wasn't let's just say this. It wasn't outside the realm of normal, unfortunately.
Oh, I unfortunately, yeah, agree and understand that. It
Yeah.
still just really rankled me.
Fair
I don't know
enough.
how many
No,
hours of training we had to
little
sit through.
bugaboos, right? So,
Yeah.
but thanks for calling in, buddy, and I
All right.
appreciate you, sir.
Take care.
We like to fight here, okay? And this is the thing. Dubious Gal asks, is this Peach the same Peach as Mooten's wife? Are you Mooten's wife?
No, no, I'm not. I just can't believe, like, I
Why'd you
get
say
asked
it
that
like
all
that,
the time for
though,
no
right? Like,
reason. Because I just don't understand how that's still a question. Sorry, no offense. But, like, what the heck? I don't understand.
I didn't know Mooten had a wife, to be honest with you, so I had no
Oh,
idea.
really?
No.
Oh.
I don't know
Well, that might
people.
be
Like,
confusing.
can I just before we bring in the next guy, just as an aside, the amount of personal shit you guys know about people in this space, and I'm talking to the chatters here, not you specifically, right? I'm talking to the chatters here. It's weird, okay? I'm not gonna lie, it's weird. Very weird. It's weird to me, okay? It's weird. I don't know most things about my colleague's life, right? I don't delve into it. It's just not a thing. Yeah, it's weird. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
saying
and
this
people
because
expect you to, yeah.
maybe I'm saying this now because, like, again, we've had a whole bunch of people been digging around my personal shit and releasing it on to the public, which I hate. But yeah, I just what are we doing? I think who was it? It was who I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt. Could be wrong. Said this, and it's a great quote, and I think everyone should kind of take it to heart. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. Okay, and that's why here on Wick TV,
I love that.
we discuss all.
That is great.
Okay, it's a great quote.
Ooh, I like that.
Great quote.
That's so fun. You should, like, bake that into some thing. I don't know. That's
Well, I
cute.
try to
You should
break
make it a
it,
thing.
bake it into how I put together my prompts. We aren't discussing specifically. We might use a person as a catalyst to discuss an issue, but my best shows are when we discuss issues, ideas, free speech, concepts, things like that. Court packing is a concept, right? That we're going to discuss tomorrow, right? All these things. I know some of my most drama-filled shows are when we discuss specific people. And those can be fun as candy, right? Like as sugar, but it shouldn't be your main course. It shouldn't be your main meal, okay? Look, we all have things we enjoy that aren't healthy for us. I have things I enjoy that aren't healthy for me, okay? I get it. But come on, guys. What are we doing? Just like fucking stalking people all the time.
I don't know. I
basically.
do love. Well, I don't love stalking people. I do love a good drama though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a big reality TV person, which is why I do, like, there's a part of me that just loves that stuff.
You know what?
But,
I'm
like,
not gonna yuck your yum. Not gonna yuck your yum.
but no, but I do agree about the whole, like, personal lives thing. I feel like, especially when someone else's life is super public, a lot of people just assume that whenever they're discussing that person with anybody else, that, like, it's just, where were you on this night with this person, and what are exactly do your DMs look like, and I need to know all this, and it's like, bro, I'm not gonna play any of it.
Yeah,
Like, why would
exactly.
you
It's
ever
not
think,
your
like, do you ask
business.
anybody that question?
My DMs with
No,
so-and-so
that's
is
so
not your
weird.
business. Right, yeah.
Right.
Let's bring
Or,
on
like,
the
did
next...
they try to talk, did they, yeah, it's just like,
But
who
anyway,
knows?
yeah.
I
So
don't
what we've
know.
learned, to kind of make sure everyone knows, Peaches is not Mooten's wife. Okay. They
Thank
are
you.
not married. I
Not that
don't
there's
even think
anything
they're
wrong with
dating,
him.
okay?
It's just no. No, we're not married. We're not dating. I think he even because someone sent me a clip of him even being like, "Who is this person?" Because people ask him too. I
Do they?
guess.
Okay.
Or like
I
he's
didn't
seen
know
it
it was a
before, where he's
thing.
like, "Who is this? I'm confused. Who is this person that they're talking about? Is
Oh.
this my wife that people are talking about?" So it's just like it's really annoying. I don't understand it, but it's okay.
Hello.
Good evening. I want to just talk a couple things about Platner that I haven't heard.
Go ahead.
So, from the timeline I'm tracking just from other podcasts today and news articles, like we had the primary coming up. It's probably Platner's probably going to win, barring anything else coming out. But the Democratic Party can still, if he ends up resigning the nomination by, I believe, July 13th, the Democratic Party will have 2 weeks to, and this is the main Democratic Party can basically elect an or
Sure.
decide on an alternative and provide that person funding. It could be Mills, it could be
Yeah, but I don't
somebody
see
else.
him withdrawing. I don't see him dropping out.
Well, I mean, it depends on. I mean, he probably won't want to be embarrassed. So there is not probably a lot of polling. There will be a lot of polling, both from Platner's people, from the main Democratic Party, probably the DNC, also funding things, to just see where it's going. There's more articles coming out, like the drug allegations that came out today too, that haven't heard yet. When he was basically just bought like suspected or alleged Reddit posts where he's talking about doing buying cocaine and also doing drugs when he was on terminal leave in the military. So more stuff could come out. So it's not just this.
I don't think the drugs will do much, especially if it was a long time ago. And frankly, okay, if he did cocaine back in the military, okay, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're not main voters, and things can still just kind of snowball. I'm just saying it's possible that. I mean, they'll probably have to just wait till the polls, because if he does plummet in the polls compared to Susan Collins, I mean, it's nobody really wants to completely get embarrassed, even if even if they really
Yeah,
want to be.
I think that he's like, I think he's in it for the long haul, for the power. I don't think he's going anywhere. If he hasn't yet, he's not going to. If you don't want him to be the nominee, Maine, vote for the other person, and I hope you do. But we'll see. It's very unlikely that he loses the primary, and it is what it is. So yeah.
And I will just say that, like, comparing Platner to Paxton in Texas, myself as a Texan, I mean, the allegations, all of Paxton's history and allegations are generally much worse than Platner's.
He's a Republican, and that
aside
tends
from
to
the-
track. Yes.
Yeah, but like a lot of people who consider themselves moderates or more neutral, like media people, have been attacked. Have been bringing up Platner stuff as much more, serious. And that Paxton's can be overlooked largely because largely because Tallarico is far left.
So I haven't. I'm going to confess something. I haven't followed Tallarico that much. The only thing I know about Tallarico is he's Christian, and Stephen Miller thinks he's trans, and that's really it.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion,
Is
in
it
my opinion, the opinion of a lot of Texans, he is pretty far left. I mean, he is pro-Israel, so if you consider that a requirement to be far left, then he wouldn't be. But a lot of other things, he is very pro-left, or is like far left, at least for Texans. Um, I think a Democratic candidate could easily win in Texas if they just focused on infrastructure issues, such as
What's
Trump
his
taking
most
away.
far left policy?
I mean, a lot of the trans stuff is
Well,
considered like
what policy though, right? What's
I
he
mean,
proposed?
supporting trans children is considered very far left in
Like,
Texas.
is that a policy that he has, or did he just say
Yes.
I support trans children?
I mean, it's a policy.
Oh,
I mean, you go to his website and like look at things,
But he has apparently made comments with homophobic language on Reddit. I don't know what that means. I'm reading an article.
did he call someone
What is
gay?
this homophobic language he used? Is that all it is?
I don't know. I don't know. It could be.
Okay. I want to know more about the anti-grape shorts. Like, are like women? What is this? Shorts that prevent you from being like arbored? I don't know what gets flagged
Raped?
or not.
You can
What
say
is that? Rape. What is shorts that prevent you from being raped? What does that mean? What's this post about? There's no post linked. I can't read it. I can't see it. But
Who?
I'm intrigued.
What?
You
Well, hold
reminded
on.
me. I wanted to ask that
Back
question
up.
earlier.
Take a 2 steps back, Peach. What are you talking about?
Okay. I don't know if it's fake news, but I'm reading an article apparently about these Reddit posts. And it says
Whose Reddit post?
that the Platner guy.
Okay,
says
so this is
when
Platner.
Platner responded to a post titled "Shorts that prevented." It wasn't his post. I'm sorry. He was responding to a post about someone commenting that about shorts that prevented you from being raped. And he made a comment on that post. I want to know the original post, but his
What'd he
post was
say?
"Holy fuck, how." He said, "Holy fuck, how about people just take some responsibility for themselves and not get so fucked up they wind up having sex with someone they didn't mean to. Men and women, you make a choice to consume enough of a substance to lose your self-control. So if you don't want to be in a compromising situation, act like an adult for fuck's sake."
Kind of callous, to say the least.
I thought that he created an invention called shorts that prevent you
That's
from
what
being
I
raped.
thought.
So I was
too,
wrong.
from how
That's
you
what I
presented
thought reading that
and
comment.
I was like, what? I
Yeah,
wanna
but
know
then I read
more.
above and it said that he made a comment. So this is why you read more clearly. So this is an example of
We're
why that
learning in
matters.
real life.
People,
Okay.
I caught myself. Did I not?
You
I
did.
did that
You
myself.
did. You took us on a ride,
Mr.
though,
Wick.
Peach. We've been on a bit of a
Thank
roller
you.
coaster
I
today.
did.
Okay. Thanks for calling in, by the way, and I'll
Like
talk to
every
you later.
stream.
Okay, buddy.
Make sure you follow me so we can have more fun talking about rape shorts.
You're selling it, Peach. People are lining up to subscribe to your newsletter. I can see already, right?
Thank you.
I want to know what these rape shorts are. You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. Rape shorts. Interesting. Tell me more.
Oh, anti-rape shorts.
Oh,
sorry.
Never mind. Okay. Next.
Never mind.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Please don't cancel me. Okay. We had a guy. I don't know if were you here for this? We had a guy call a guy named Ace. And if I say his name 3 times, he'll probably appear and demand to come on. But this guy,
God, I know some people like that.
he came in and he accused me of loving rape. Okay, being a rape
I
lover.
missed this.
And so it's kind of a joke now. Is that because his evidence that I loved rape is because one time when he was on my show, he mentioned an article about whether or not trans people should disclose when they are in a relationship. And I hadn't read the article, so I made some non-committal statements because if I don't read an article, I'm not going to give you my take on an article that I haven't read. It's just generally a good practice to do. And he didn't like that. He said that I was excusing this because he thought it was rape. And so he came on. The next time he came on, he was like, "Wick, you love rape. You love it. You love to rape." And I'm like, and here we are. And we had a whole argument about it. is good TV.
I
Okay.
watch all of that. That's the kind of drama I'm here for.
The rape drama. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whether you're here for it or not, it's gonna happen. But
What's gonna happen?
it was
Exactly.
a rape joke. It was a rape joke. Okay. It's
Oh,
whether you like it or not. Haha. Anyway.
I
Awkward.
get it.
Okay,
Thank
let's
you.
bring on the next caller to cover up my embarrassment. Hello, you're live.
Oh wow! So now we have this stuff with the rape review, and now I'm finding out all this lore about Wick and rape. This is really weird.
It is a little weird.
Same.
What is,
We can unpack it together if you
I
want.
don't know why this is getting associated with you. This is kind of sucks, man.
Well,
The worst
people
thing
like,
imaginable.
hold on. People love to make shit up about me. Okay, but it's not just me. A lot of public figures go through this. Even if you're like a micro public figure, because I don't have a huge audience.
Even me, for Christ's sake.
What did they made up
It's
about
crazy.
you?
Oh, bro, we could do a whole stream about it. It's not even.
Well, we just go the Mootin stuff. Her being Mootin.
Oh,
wife,
true.
That's
Yeah,
the first
you're
There's
one.
one.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
so
What do you got for
So
us, Mr. Metalworks?
We can have a good time talking about it, though.
So my problem with Platner is not I don't really care about the tattoo or anything like that, but it's how he's been handling it. It's not been handling it well. You know, if this is how he lies about the tattoo, what else is he going to lie about? Because right now he might not be that bad of a person, but once you're in the hot seat, things are going to change. And you know, I think politics can really transform you. Look what it did to Trump. I don't think he would have been. If his first term was a lot smoother and the media was a lot less crazier with him, I don't think he'd be as bad as he is now.
I
think
I
it had-
fundamentally, I just let's start here because I fundamentally disagree with you. I think that the only reason Trump 1 wasn't as bad as Trump 2 is because he didn't expect to have the people around him tell him no. So he had a bunch of people around him that were
Yeah, he was surrounded by better
classical.
people.
I don't know if I'd say classical Republicans, but they were traditional Republicans, right? And they were all about institutions, all about the rule of law, all these things. And they told Trump no a lot, and
Mike
he didn't
Pence
like it, and
ruined
it
him.
frustrated him, and these things. So I don't think Trump was turned into who he is by politics. I think he's always been that, at least
He learned his lessons
for
the
like
first
at
time
least
around.
20 years. And he just this term was able, because he learned the lessons of last term that he had, and he filled his cabinet, he filled his advisory board, he surrounded himself with people who would not tell him no. And so we're seeing Trump as he in his purest form. That's my opinion.
I
Agreed.
think he may have gaslighted himself to believing the election was stolen, which I think he's wrong, by the way. I don't think it justifies what he did. I think
He knows he didn't win. That's crazy.
I don't know. I think he might really believe it because he's that so up his ass.
No,
And,
I don't think so.
hmm.
Well, do you think that do you think that the lies that he
His
pushes,
his ego is so huge. And remember, he's stupid.
do you think that he may have now, or like, do you think that he could believe that he won, but because I think that there's a difference between him saying like, oh, I think I won, blah blah blah, versus like the lies that he pushed, knowing that he pushed them, trying to convince people he
Well, he
won.
doesn't stop talking. Well, I guess
It's
he
not a
stopped
meaningful
talking about it
difference in my
now, but
opinion,
he never
He
stopped
never,
talking about it.
no, he knows.
And I
He
really
knows
think he
didn't win the election.
believed I think he really believes it. I
No.
think he's that delusional.
I don't know
think
how
he
you can be
buys
that
into his own
delusional,
stuff.
but then also, like, how can you be simultaneously really stupid, but then like become
People
have
are
all the
fascinating
accomplishments that he had?
creatures. We're
But didn't
capable
he
of
have like
amazing
people around
things.
him that he could learn from that were also like super sneaky and cunning and
Clearly he didn't learn
like, he was around
anything
a bunch
from
of
them
evil
because he
people.
ignored them all, like Wick said.
No, he learned so much from them. What do you mean? He learned how to be like the wheeler dealer that he is from all of these crazy people he was around all the time.
Oh, you mean
You
for his
know?
whole life? Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
his whole life, yeah. Well, remember, he started out more on the left, and he was more left-leaning. And he just kind of just slowly crept over to the right because I guess he saw an opportunity.
But his
You know.
political leanings have nothing to do with the way that he runs the country, right?
No, I think his political leanings have transformed. I think once he started
I don't think his
going
political
on.
ideology matters. It's just whatever makes him the most
Yeah, whatever gets him
successful,
power,
most richest man, yeah.
whatever gets him power and gets him in office. And
But hasn't he always been that way?
I just don't think he was that bad in the past. I could be wrong. It just looks like it's gotten worse and worse over time. I also think we can't completely say that the media didn't play a role in shaping how he is. But again, it doesn't excuse it, and he should still be better. It doesn't justify what he's done. He could always have been the better person in the end, and he chose not to. He's still a vindictive little asshole and is completely spiteful to anyone that wrongs him. I mean, he constantly fires people that do anything he doesn't like, not because they fucked up, but because what was it, Bondi or Bondi? She didn't get fired because of that, because of her way she spoke at those conferences. Is because she tried to help out a friend, and he just canned her for that. He's such a massive sycophant. He wants people to kiss his ass.
I think it's a lot darker than that, but
the
I'm
thing
gonna
he's
take
probably the
this
most
one,
evil
Peaches.
person.
Peaches, I'm giving you the reins on this one. Okay, so.
Oh shoot! Well, I don't know. I feel like I said what I needed
Yeah,
to say.
fair enough. That's
No,
why
I think
was just explaining why I wasn't talking much, but yeah, thanks for
I appreciate you.
thanks for calling in, Middleworks. I appreciate you, buddy.
No problem.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, talk to you later.
Did you know that I voted for Trump? You know that, right?
I did not.
I can't hear you anymore. Is that my problem?
Oh, I did not.
Okay. I voted for him
When did you vote for him?
twice.
Twice?
Mm-hmm.
So 2016, 2020?
Yep.
You know what? We all make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
What matters is what you do in the future, okay? What you do going forward. Did you used to be a MAGA girly? What's going on here?
Kinda.
Tell us that. I don't know this lore, okay? Give answer for your crimes. The Council of Wick is convened, okay?
Sure.
Your old voting habits. What did you do and why? Let's hear it.
So I grew up in a very conservative household.
Fair enough.
My mom, to this day, her greatest accomplishment was, or she thinks that the number one thing that she did for me as a mother raising her children was raising her kids on Rush Limbaugh. Even though she is no longer MAGA, she still thinks that that's like the greatest thing that she could have ever done for her kids. I think that's crazy. But
did you think so at the time?
No, not when I was in high school. Not at all. Like even in high school, no. But
is it inappropriate and you just bought my nose if it is? How old are you?
I'm in my early 30s.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm 31 right now. I'll be
I'm gonna
32
be real with
soon.
you. I thought you were like 24.
No, you did not.
I did. I thought you were like 24, 25.
I'm gonna believe you. That's very sweet.
That's what I thought. Hold on. Chat. Back me up.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna read any of these messages.
Chat,
you can say whatever you want, but I'm not gonna
How
read
old did
any
you
of them.
think this with Peaches was? I thought she was like 25, 26.
I don't really care like that, but
yeah,
mid-20s.
I thought mid-20s. A
Oh,
lot of people were
hell
saying this.
yeah.
A lot of people were saying this. Okay.
I'm
Well, I
31.
had to know because you said twice, and I'm like 2016, and I did some mental math here, and I'm like,
I voted for. Okay, now that I said I voted for the first one was that Romney Obama? Was that Romney and Obama in 2012?
Yes, that was in 2012. Romney and
Voted
Obama.
for Romney.
Mhm.
I didn't vote for Obama,
Okay.
unfortunately. And then that's Trump and Hillary. I voted for Trump. Then yeah, Biden. When I left the polls, though, I will say when I left the polls voting for Trump, I felt like I made a mistake in the second time.
In the second time, why?
was
Well,
like-
why'd you? Oh, what? I guess the most important question, right? Because I get it. You're raised in a certain household, very conservative. You listened to Rush Limbaugh growing up. That was your environment. That
All
was
of
your
them,
media
yeah.
environment. That was probably your friend group, I'd imagine. So I get it. I understand.
No, it wasn't actually.
Oh,
That's
no?
the crazy part. No, because all my friends were super liberal, and my mom always, she was a stay-at-home mom. So she listened to Rush. He was always on. So whenever I was home, he was on. You know what I mean?
Fair.
So I was home listening to him. So then I got really into politics. My mom was obsessed with him. But then I got into a little my two friends. I found the two people in my high school that also loved politics for whatever reason. But we would get together and they would like debate my mom through me. But every time I talked to my
But
mom, like she would make sense, and then I would talk to my friends, and they would make a lot of sense. But then at the end of the day, like my mom is an adult, and these guys are like children. So like, what is it? If you are a liberal before you're 25, that means you have a heart. If you're a liberal after 25, it means that you're stupid. That was basically the saying. I do remember that.
okay.
So it's like, oh, well, they're just young and they think that they know better and it's nice and it's sweet, but like every liberal becomes a conservative when they're older, essentially.
So
Was the idea.
what made you decide to leave the plantation to steal a bit of a phrase from some from some people? What made you decide to become? Well, I guess I should ask: are you a Democrat now? Are you a Democratic voter?
Yes.
No? What made the switch? What
So
made it
the
possible?
election was the biggest thing, the way that he tried to steal the election.
Oh, so January
Because
6th really kind of
yes,
switched you? Got you.
absolutely, yeah. I
Mhm.
started to kind of think because during COVID, because I'm a science girly, okay, and so when I saw how crazy MAGA was about the vaccines and stuff, I still because Trump did own Operation Warp Speed in the beginning, so that's how I coped basically in voting for him again. So it's like, oh, COVID, and he, Operation Warp Speed, woohoo, like he owns the vaccine, but that doesn't mean his voter base has to. It's okay. But so when he lost the election,
Mm.
my mom like called me, the next day cuz I had one of those moments too where you go to bed thinking he's going to win and then you wake up and you're like, "What just happened? Holy," like, "Oh my god." So my mom's on the phone with me and she's like, "They're going to fight it. I know. They're going to fight." I'm like, "Okay, like, well, we'll see what happens in the courts." And she's like, "No, he won." And I was like, "All I'm saying is that we're just going to see it play out in the courts." And like she was already offended by me. I can't tell you how many freaking hearings I listened to, and it was on my way home from, I think it was either Thanksgiving or Christmas with a family, so sometime in between there. I was listening for that long, and I was on the way home, and I just lost my shit because I was like, how many nothing hearings do I have to hear? And then January 6th happened, and I was like, he doesn't have anything. He's just lying, And so I had all of that like IRL, like in real time is what I meant to say. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to kind of leave your family behind like that. I get it.
Oh, it was hard.
Yeah, it's difficult to have your mind changed, especially if you've been conditioned on Rush Limbaugh and things like that. So props to you on that. Fun story about moms calling after the 2020 election. My mom also called me after the 2020 election because she's unfortunately MAGA, right? A Trump voter, and so is my dad. But she called me and she thought that they were going to assassinate Biden to put Kamala on the throne, right? That was her thing. She thought that, and this was in
Wow.
2020, right? Like a couple nights after the election.
Whoa.
Her thing was that they were going to kill Biden and put Kamala on as the vice president so she can enact her radical left-wing agenda. That was her conspiracy theory that she really believed it because she was calling me and she was crying about it. It was really sad. And I tried to kind of talk sense into her and talk her down. But yeah, it was a rough time for a lot of people.
That's what made it so hard because I remember hearing nothing that intense, but the whole Biden is a puppet and Harris is really in charge, or everyone was always in charge, and then all of a sudden that shift. So then when it was no longer Biden, and then like that also fed into all of those conspiracies as well. So I think that also played a huge role in, honestly, like I just feel like it did a lot of damage the way that they did it, and a lot of it is because of that, I think too.
But yeah,
Because I mean, it did. It was like, well, I
I
kind of see
see.
why you all believed it and feel validated now.
Chat, we're learning so much today about each other. I did not know that Peaches had a MAGA face. Okay, I did not know that. And honestly, I think I respect the person who used to be right wing, saw the truth, changed their mind, and is now a staunch ally to Democrats than I do someone who was just born a Democrat, always been a Democrat, never had to have their opinions challenged, never had to really think about it. So props to you on that. kudos. I'll
Well, I
glaze you a
appreciate you.
little. Okay. But yeah. We still got about 10, maybe 15 minutes, gang. So if you want to call in, we are looking for callers. So call in, click that button, accept the rules, click on my face emoji, jump backstage, and we'll pull you in.
I think.
I'm debating whether or not I want to bring up another drama thing.
Do it.
Should I? I don't know. It's
Do it. Maybe. Do it.
guys, I think we have to talk about Doobie. I think we have to have a discussion about Doobie. Okay. He had a AMA or something, or a town hall. I'm not sure what he called it, in his politics Discord. And politics Discord, it's huge. He's got about 150,000, 100,000 people in there. Anyway, so I didn't see it, but I was made aware. I was given clips. I was given sound bites, and I was told at the time. He said that he hopes that I get deplatformed, that I am scum, that I am dishonest, unprincipled, and he wishes the worst from me. It was pretty bad.
Why? What did you do to this man?
So, the thing that he says turned him over the line is he claims that I lied about him, and saying that when I said that he was soft justifying this A-logger guy who was A-logging Nathan, Destiny's child, okay?
I love that guy.
That I somehow knew he would never do that because of an incident that we're going to talk about just briefly after this. And he claims that I was lying about him and that I was talking shit on his name, basically, knowingly lying. There's a couple reasons, dear audience, that I need to tell you that you know, and I know, that this just isn't true. Okay? So the incident in question is, and he said this, this is him that brought it up. I just want to make the record clear on this. Is he contacted me about a day or two after I found out I got doxxed, right? Day or two after I found out I got doxxed. I think it was either the day before, maybe the day after. I think it was the day after, but I could be wrong on the timeline here. The whole blow up with counterpoints. When Doobie, counterpoints, me, Destiny all had that discussion. And he emails me, or not emails me, he DMs me at like 2 in the morning, and I'm in bed. I'm about to fall asleep, okay? And he DMs me and says, hey, I need you to pass some information along to Destiny about his son. And that raised some alarm bells in my mind, right? Because I'm like, what are we doing here, right? Like, why are we doing this? Thank you for the tier 1 gift sub, membership, I should say, Caramel Cold Brew. But I didn't know the facts of the matter here. And just in case it was, I won't go into the details, but just in case it was accurate information, I was like, okay, we're going to pass this on. Because in Doobie's words, he didn't want Nathan to be a target or a vector of attack towards Destiny. And I can respect that. And so, okay, I passed the information along. And I didn't mention it because if you DM me things like this, or anything really, I just don't talk about it, right? I just don't bring it up. It's not a vector of attack. It's not a shield that I use. It's just not, especially when it comes to other people's children, okay? So I was like, okay. And I also was like, okay, out of respect for the years Doobie has been a part of my community, I'm going to kind of have like a ceasefire on this. I wasn't going to talk shit about Doobie too much. I was just going to give my takes on the things he said and not really go all in, right? I was going to hold my fire, hold back. Okay. This weekend, however, he says that by doing that I must have known that he didn't want to make Nathan a target. But the problem with that line of thinking is if he didn't want Nathan to come up in any of this, he wouldn't have mentioned those DMs. What he did here was use Nathan as a human shield in order to prevent criticism for him soft justifying this A-logging guy coming in after him. Like, this was a weaponization of a child in a real way.
Yeah.
Doobie weaponized an interaction, right, in order to get out of being criticized. It's a manipulation tactic.
Because you never talked about it, right?
Of course not. I never.
Right.
The only person I talked about it with was Destiny. That's it. I sent off the information, and then I put it from my brain. I put it from my mind, because that's how I do. But he
You said this
decided.
was after you made the comment that you did, right?
Say it one more time.
Sorry, you made the comment about how you felt like he was running soft defense.
Yeah,
remember
I
hearing
said that at the time when it happened.
And then he
I said it
messaged you
after,
right?
during the conversation with Counterpoints, Destiny, and me,
Yeah.
and Doobie. I said it then, and
Mhm.
I've said it since because I do believe that's true. And
Just making sure.
I don't know. It again, at the time when he initially DM'd me, it felt manipulative, right? It felt sussy, but I did not know. And I was like, okay, maybe he's sincere. Maybe he actually does care. And so, fair enough. We're going to act on that. But him bringing it up as a weapon and as a shield in his argument just shows that this man cannot be trusted. That this man is willing to hide behind a child to protect his ego and himself. It shows that he's willing to weaponize an interaction in order to go after people, to go after me, to justify and to hope that I get deplatformed because I disagreed with how he soft justified this A-logger going after me.
And for what? And for what? Like, what's it worth? What's it for? Because you just
To win an argument.
criticized him.
To win an argument. Look, if you don't want children to be brought up in these things, don't bring them up. That's it. It's real easy. It's real simple. You just don't do it. And if you were serious about not wanting him to be a vector of attack, you would not have used that in your AMA town hall of a server with 100,000 people. You wouldn't have brought it up then. Yeah, it's just a manipulation tactic. He's not slick. These people think they're slick. They're not. So, yeah, that's the skinny, that's the juice, and that's what you get, okay? It bothers me, though, because I trusted this guy. I trusted this guy.
I get that.
But he's just proven to be a liar. And I don't like liars. So, here we are. Well, no, we won't bring that up, but,
Oh,
Anyway.
I hate Doobie. I hate Doobie so much. I've always hated him. I think that he sucks.
Cool. Okay, gang, I don't know. I don't see any callers. So, last thoughts, Miss Peach. What are your last thoughts of the day? How can people find you? All these things. Go for it.
I will say you can follow me. Hi. Peach_streams or baby Peach basically, but yeah. On Twitch and Kick. And I'm gonna start streaming a lot more again. I used to stream like every single day for hours and hours and hours whenever I could find time. And then if you want to hear more about my adventures the last couple of months and why I couldn't stream, then you can find me there. But I'm so excited to be streaming again. And hopefully the next time I see you here, I'll have like something cute to whatever. But if you want more karaoke with me and Wick as well, then just let me know too, because I would really like that too. And
You guys,
thank
gang,
you.
if they give us $50, if we can get $50, we will do karaoke to close out the show, okay? You guys get to pick the song as long as it's not crazy, okay? What do you think?
Yes.
We
I like
agree?
that idea. I was gonna go a little bit crazier with it, but yes.
A little
I was
bit
gonna say
crazier with it?
live karaoke. Like, let's do karaoke sometime. I don't know where you are. You don't know where I am. We should do a karaoke
You can
event.
find me, apparently.
IRL.
But, you know.
Yeah, actually, same. So, yeah, there you go. But, yeah, I don't know how much that is, though, so I was trying to do it in my head for, like, a donation thing, and then that was too complicated.
Okay,
But
if we were
I
doing
would love to do
in-person
karaoke.
if people want to buy my plane ticket or whatever, okay, we could do that. But
I don't have any
think
money
they
right
will.
now. I will in a couple months, but that sounds great.
Okay, but yeah, anyway, it's been fun. It's been great. I love you all. I'll see you
Thank you
guys
so much. I was
tomorrow.
so
Tomorrow
excited.
at 8:30. So a little later than I usually do it. But we're gonna have some politic content tomorrow. We're gonna do a second debate on Court Packing 2, Pack Harder. Okay, and we're gonna have Pisco. We're gonna have Josiah. We're gonna have the Gen Z attorney, and we're going to have Desert on. Desertion. I don't know how you say his name. Desert Druid, I think, is how you say his name. But
That's
tune
so
in for that.
different.
That should be great. Wednesday, we're gonna have Aiden on, and we're gonna have a little discussion with Aiden. So that should be fun. Thursday is Stale 2000, former LSF head mod, versus the world. So if you have problems with anything he's done or said, or you want to talk to him, Thursday's the day for that. And then on Friday, we have the Hasan UK debate with Lonerbox and Sid and a couple others that we're still booking. But thank you.
This is an amazing week.
It is. It's amazing week. It's fire content. We love it. Thank you all for being here. Okay. Where can people find you once again? One more time?
Peach_streams on Kick and Twitch and maybe X. I don't know. Go to Wix page on X because I don't remember what my handle is there, and so or somewhere. I don't know. I'll find it later. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Okay. Wait, bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.